Good evening. We're on.
Gonna get
That's a
me
tune,
a
isn't it?
religion.
What a
I'm
tune
gonna
that is.
join the Baptist church.
What's the band called again on that one?
The Answer.
The Answer.
The Answer.
The Answer.
That's what they're called.
Very good.
The Answer. Yeah.
They're
they
good then.
gave us
Like
permission to use that song, so that's why we use it.
And they said we can use it for free, but if this podcast ever gets big,
takes off, then they'll have another conversation with us.
and we've not spoken to them since.
Yeah, because it hasn't.
Because it hasn't.
Basically.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us
Nice
tonight.
to see people join
very
in,
good.
pulling up a stool. Welcome to Finnegan's.
Yeah.
Nice to see you in the chat.
Coming early doors there, Tom.
Yeah, Mel's in, Ray's in, Miriam. Nice to see you guys. My daughter Hope is in. Very
Miriam
good.
sent us a good post this week on Facebook.
She did,
Tom?
didn't she?
Yeah. Thank you, Miriam.
Bigging us up.
Yeah, bigging us
Very,
way up.
She's our #1 fan, I think.
I think
Miriam.
she's top fan.
She is a
Top fan. Top fan.
Very
Yeah,
good, top
thanks,
fan. She
Miriam.
got a badge. You get a badge on Facebook for that, can't you?
You do get
Being
a
top
badge on
fan.
Facebook for that.
There we go. I feel
like.
better now. I've got both of my.
Oh, you can
Both
hear
of
now.
them in. Yep.
Yeah. Fabulous. Fabulous. So,
I thought you were going a bit Australian then.
what? What, Charlie?
After the Charlie and
Charlie. We haven't got over Charlie from last week, have we?
Charlie,
I-
he's still in the UK, so
He is in the UK. We think he is. We don't know. He's a bit crazy,
he's
isn't he?
every here, there, and everywhere.
He
I saw
is.
he was on Twitter. He met the fella from The Apprentice. But I don't know.
What?
He had breakfast with him.
You're fired.
No, not Sugar. He was a contestant. Top.
It wasn't sugar. Yeah, come on.
What an episode that was, though. He was fire.
He was on fire.
Wow.
I mean, some of his some
Wisdom.
of the things he said.
Some of the things he said, he was rivaling Tom's top tips. In fact, we've got one
we've got
here.
one,
Let's have a look. Where is it? Here we go.
You wake up with determination and you go to bed with satisfaction.
I love that. I had to put that on the board. Let's have that again.
Wake up with determination and you go to bed with satisfaction.
Yeah. And
There
the
it is.
mullet. I mean, I needed a haircut. And I seen his mullet and I just thought, I'm never going to have a hairdo like that.
No.
I mean, to be honest, I don't want one. But
You wish
I
you
went
could.
for the kinds of Alman's baldy head cut look. Kinds of thing.
We can
So,
see.
yeah, so I did. I went for
Yeah.
that.
This looks good, mate. It looks
Yeah.
good.
I thought I can't get anywhere near that mullet.
Oh, I would.
You'd
I mean,
look good with a mullet.
I know.
you.
Well, they said there was.
Well, you'd look like Charlie actually, because
I
you've
know.
got that little dodgy tash going on if you leave it, like he had, and like a little bit of a.
I mean, it's curly enough.
Yours is
that-
curly enough,
yeah.
like.
I would if Emma would let me, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Emma,
allowed.
come on, stop ruining his
I think
life. The
if-
mullet.
Let me know in the comments if I can bring the mullet back. That
Yeah.
would be amazing. Maybe I'd do it for charity.
You should do, yeah. I think we're a charity, Tom.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Charlie, yeah.
So listen back to Charlie if you missed
Yeah,
it. Great
last week's
episode,
episode,
fantastic. It's great to have another session in Finnegan's. We've got a great episode
We
coming
have.
up for you tonight.
We have.
We've got the fantastic Claire Morgans with us tonight.
Yes, CEO of Ykids.
CEO and founder
General-
of. Go
Come on. Generally an inspirational person,
Very
I was going to say.
inspirational.
Very, very
Do you know what?
inspirational.
I think what Claire does every day.
You
Yeah.
wake up with determination
I think she
and you
wakes
go
up
to
with
bed with
determination.
I
satisfaction.
think she must have
I think
listened
she
to
does.
Charlie.
I think
on
she knows.
TikTok. Shazza!
So Claire's in tonight. We're going to have a bit of a chat with her about Ykids, about how that all started. She's going to tell a funny story, see if she ends up on the wall. We're going to play our new game,
What?
Wonky Donkey.
Wonky Donkey.
We're saving that for later.
Okay, sorry.
So Wonky Donkey classic. You might remember it from back in the early noughties.
Someone stole it off us, didn't they?
Ant and Dec. You might have heard of them.
Yeah.
Stole the idea off of
Stole
us.
the idea off us. We did, and they made it famous, basically. It's a lot, but that happens a lot, doesn't it? With your top tips and that.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure I've heard this before. You know, when you come out with the pearls of wisdom that you do.
Yeah.
I'm generally inspired by them. But I'm thinking, I've got that vague thing in my head that I've heard this before. And you tell me that everyone rips you off.
They do.
Yeah, so, you know, we're sick of it, aren't we?
I've had enough. Do you know what? I've suddenly had a panic that we haven't prepped a Tom's top tip. I'm going to have to
Quickly Googling.
freestyle it off the top of my head. Chris Reed's in. Chris Reedy.
Reedy.
Chaz has stayed at mine the night before the Everton game, and the lad wouldn't sit still for 5 minutes. Oh,
That's because he was going the Everton game.
did you? Did you
got
know
beat.
him, Chris, or did he just turn up?
Yeah.
Just turn up. I'm staying here.
Yeah, I'll stay here. That's what he did here,
They
didn't
got
he?
smashed,
Just turns
didn't
up.
they? He did.
Just
And he,
turns up.
We nearly had a lock-in, didn't we, Mikey?
Yeah,
if it wasn't
couldn't
the
get
fact
it.
that
Only for
Mikey
Mikey
had to go
home.
funeral the next day, he would have,
He's been here all night.
what a legend, though.
Yeah, he was a good laugh.
He was a good legend.
He was a good laugh.
So, Finnegan's, each week, Wednesday night at Finnegan's, me and Alan are both...
Yeah, I'm Alan.
Yeah, I just said that.
You're Tom.
Yeah, I know that too. Me and
They
Alan...
don't.
Alan, Tom.
Yeah.
We're both Baptist ministers at church in North Liverpool.
Still.
Every week, we get together down at our favourite local pub,
Yeah.
Finnegan's.
Yeah.
Secret location.
Yeah.
Only the best.
Only the VIP members are
Get to
allowed
come in.
Yeah. So.
And we chat. We chat about everything and anything.
We chat about what's going on in
Life,
the week. Life,
faith,
yeah, everything.
football,
Fancy football.
fantasy football.
I'm nearly top of the league in
We're
everything.
going to talk about that less at the moment because
We're only talking about it less because you're not doing as good
Alan's
now.
suddenly...
When you were ahead of me, you want to talk about it every week.
Evening, Pete. Shut up, Al. Emma said, no, not the mullet.
no,
Charlie could pull it off just about, but not me, apparently. Evening, Margs. Margs normally singing at the Carol, which is here tonight.
I still think he'd look. I mean, you said Chazza was your lad. I reckon if you had
Do you
the
know
mullet,
what I
you'd
think
look
it
like
is?
him.
Do you know what I think it is?
What?
Emma's worried that if I rock the mullet, just the level of female interest would be...
Yeah, she couldn't cope.
Could go to my head because I've never had it before. She wants to keep me all to herself. I think that's what it is.
That's what it is. Scared.
Barbara's in. Core. Nice to see you all. She's celebrating her Christmas Radio Times has finally arrived this afternoon. Oh, felt fantastic. Catch up on everything you didn't get to see.
Go to catch up now instead.
Nice to see you, Dan. Nice, looking good, guys. Thanks. I'm wearing the goggles tonight because I've run out of contact lenses.
The Finnegan's.
Do you know what? He's bought himself a Finnegan's top, but didn't buy me one. Paid for
there was only
postage. There was only. How is there only one?
There was only one. There wasn't two. I can give you the Finnegan's top, but you won't wear one.
Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Eddie's in. Cool. Smashing it tonight. Do you know what would really help right at the get-go?
Yeah.
Is if you share this video
And
now
like it.
and leave a little comment as you share it, as you post it, or like it on YouTube, subscribe. All of that is going to do wonderful things for the algorithm.
It does massive things.
We don't know what those things are.
I don't know what an algorithm is. I know we done them in school, but we had a little roulette then.
Yeah.
Used to have to look it up on this little roulette. Do you remember that, Claire?
Claire's in.
Yeah.
Here she is. You're
Let's
right,
show
Claire. Whee! Yes.
Wondering what she's let herself in for now.
Yes, Claire.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Lovely to have you here. Oh, I'll unmute your mic, Claire. Sorry, go on, say hello again.
Hello,
There you
everyone.
are. That's better.
Yeah,
That's better.
yeah.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
You've known Alan for many years.
Many years.
Yeah, and you don't have to know him. You don't have to know him long to know some dirt. So I think we're going to get some dirt about Alan tonight.
I think you might. I don't care. We used to have rulers, Tom, that used to have to move it, with logarithms. I don't know what they are.
Logarithms.
We
Don't correct him.
logarithms.
It's
That's
not
what
called that.
No, they're the logarithms, them. But this was logarithms.
Are you messing with me?
No, it was
I
maths.
think it was just algorithm and you were saying it wrong.
Do you reckon?
Is that Claire? Is that a thing? Logarithms?
Absolutely. You had a book with all the logarithms
logarithms in. You had to
and
look it up and a
that's
little
right.
daft ruler thing.
Yeah.
And it told you the answer, didn't it?
Exactly.
What's it like being so old?
Yeah. Didn't even have calculators back in the day. The only thing we do
Abacus.
was write Shell Oil on them when you turned it upside down. Remember that?
What, the
calculator
calculators?
used to write Shell Oil and turn out you were brilliant.
That's right. Yeah.
What, on the numbers? You type it?
You type certain numbers and turn upside down, it said Shell Oil,
That's
which
what-
is now.
that's
there'd be
not what we-
protests. There'd be protests now, Shell Oil.
You didn't write Shell Oil, did you?
You did, yeah.
Do you know what everyone else wrote from my generation?
What?
Boobies.
Did they? I didn't know what boobies was when I was
Did
11.
you not
Tom.
write boobies on that? That's what we
I'm
wrote,
guessing
Claire.
Claire never.
No.
At home, you know that's exactly what everyone wrote on their calculator.
you,
It's
that.
not, that's not
That's
my...
you.
No,
Dirty
that's
Tories
exactly
again.
what
We were
everyone
writing
wrote.
Shell Oil
Shell Oil.
while they weren't paying taxes.
It's your little protest. Shell Oil.
Yeah, pay your taxes. Pay your taxes.
Margs loved logarithms.
See? They were the things.
Logarithms.
Until we got like calculators, and then you had to do them on the calculator then.
No, people aren't wanting the
That one, what?
The mullet.
The mullet.
right. Jackie's not having it. Evening, Jackie. No Tom, no mullet ever. But Charlie looks so good.
Yeah, he does.
Margs prefers the specs. Thanks, Margs. Just think
That's
what
'cause
they
he's
could
got
be
no
with the
contact
hair a bit
lenses.
longer as well.
Aye.
They add a few years to your baby face. That's one of those compliments
That could
is
be
like,
a nugget of the week comment, that,
it
couldn't
could
it?
be.
Explain nugget of the week.
Nugget of the
while we're
week.
here.
So nugget of the week. Each week we have a
We have a nugget of the
People
week.
who watch this podcast, we call them our nuggets. And if you win nugget of the week, you get a lovely chewy nougat. We send that to you. We won't send it straight
You'll
away.
get a nugget.
We won't send it straight away, as many people will
Finding out.
can attest to, because there's quite a backlog of those. But there's a shortage. Come
There's a
find them in
shortage.
Home Bargains.
Home Bargains was empty.
Could not find
Yeah.
them.
If we say Home Bargains and you're down south, you probably haven't got a clue what we're talking about. It's a poverty shop, so don't worry.
Evening,
You'll
Craig.
be there soon.
Nice to see you, Craigie.
Yeah, well,
Good to
nice to
have
see
you
you
in.
again, Craig.
Yeah, Dan's asking, can we be praying for Steve Leggs? Steve Leggs gone in for an operation today.
Yeah,
You
we've seen that.
We haven't introduced you to Steve, but he's going to be a pre-record
Yeah, we've
on
got a
podcast. We've
pre-record.
already done it with him, and we're going to put that out. And
Yeah.
well, Dan keeps messaging me to find out when we're going to put it out, because we keep saying we're going to put it out, and we haven't put it out. So we will put it out for Steve.
We were putting it out Christmas, but you forgot.
That's right. What's Craig?
Just putting it out there.
What's Craig?
What?
Craig said Sokotoa.
Sokotoa.
Sokotoa. Do you remember that one, Claire? That was a maths thing.
Sokotoa. Yeah.
Trigonometry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hang
I
on,
forget
though.
what
Very
it
good
stands
at it.
for.
I know what it stands for, because again we had quite a dirty thing where each letter stood for something.
Use it awful down yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe you use this as just a sewing thing.
It must be. We're all clean up here. Are you trying to remember what it was?
It was so. I thought it was Sobotoa. I don't know. Maybe we were just
No, that was
wrong.
just your weird lingo that you speak down there.
Joycey's in. Joycey, you're right.
Joycey.
Karen spent the last week watching back episodes of Wednesday. Karen,
Karen,
yes,
you might have
Karen.
become our favourite person.
Wait, let us read the rest of the comment
Yeah.
first.
Hang on, I can't read
I
that.
spent the last week watching back episodes, and I really didn't enjoy
And
it.
not stop laughing.
And not stop laughing. Where have you been all my life? I'm a right nugget, not Navaratis. What's that?
What's that, Navatus? I think
that
she's
another
trying
way
to
of
say what
saying
you
it?
say. I can't even say it.
Nougat.
That's
do you
it.
mean
That thing. I
Karen?
don't know what
Karen,
that is.
lovely to have you in.
Yeah.
Chris is a teacher. Okay, Chris is a teacher, and she said boobs. That's what everyone used to say on the calculators. Apparently, she's a teacher.
She is a teacher.
You shouldn't be doing that, Chris.
No.
Let the kids do that.
Yeah.
I think Chris spends a lesson teaching them that.
Yeah. This is what you do, kids. You do 8, 0, 0,
See, he
8,
knows.
5.
He knows.
And it's sitting upside down.
What
it
if
might be
was
the other way around,
IES?
mightn't it?
What would you do with the IES? What numbers?
1,
Yeah.
3, 5.
There we go. And it's Chris. It's good having a teacher. I can't believe
Sine,
we've got a teacher.
cosine, tangents. I remember
That's
it
what
now.
it is.
I
Yeah.
remember it now. Yeah.
Sorry, Nougat. Yeah, that's right.
Who
Fantastic.
said nougat? Who said that?
Oh no, I'm not reading that.
Oh, who
Chris
is it?
Reed's put a comment in, and
Who's
I
Chris Reed?
Reedy.
Reedy?
Mikey told me about you, fella. So your comments get screened.
One of the funny
and
ones
I'm not
was
reading that.
when he read one out off someone who he knew,
Yeah.
and he thought it was safe to read out,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. It was
It wasn't.
hilarious. It was
But
dead
Claire,
funny.
because I didn't get the joke,
He didn't
so
get
I
the joke.
read the joke out because I'm trying to. When I
He's
pause.
talking and trying to read stuff because I can't see the screen.
No, and so people basically they try to get me by saying inappropriate jokes that are slightly I
Risky.
don't get,
Yeah.
and then I read it out, and then Alan laughs, and then I realise what it means, and I realise my kids are still watching probably.
Ah, well, send them to bed, lad.
So very good, very good. So what are we doing?
We haven't explained Nuggets of the Week. We talked
We
about
did talk about
Oh,
it. So
did we?
if you have the best comment tonight,
comment.
best comment. People are in for a shout already. There's some good ones there. So if you have the best comment tonight, you're going to get yourself a chewy nougat. We'll send that in the post, second class.
He was seamless there, wasn't he? Was you in last week? Was it last week you slipped up and said nugget
Well, yeah.
when you had hold of it?
You said
slipped
it.
up.
You slipped up as well.
No, I never slipped up.
You've done that
I
before.
never do that.
Very good. Look, do you know what we've got in?
Oh.
We're drinking.
Oh.
Let us know what you're drinking at home
Yeah.
tonight. We are
drinking
genuinely
Corona.
interested. We're drinking Corona, but also,
Which is quite nice, actually.
shall I tell
Well,
you
never bottle of Corona.
what we got special in?
What have we got in?
Let me show you.
Oh, come on, show us.
One of these.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
One of these.
The new craze.
One of these. Look at this.
Everyone's gone mad on these, haven't they? There was fights in Aldi over these. Wasn't there?
Yeah.
You missed them because you went too late.
We got 4 flavours.
4 flavours.
Look at that.
Let's taste them now.
You have a taste of that one.
What's this one, sir? What's this one? I can't see that. It says blue raspberry. Blue raspberry. That's
Blue
that's
raspberry.
an oxymoron, isn't it? Blue raspberry.
Yeah, they're supposed to be red, aren't
Isn't
they?
it red
Yeah.
raspberry? Yeah. Let's
Blue-
see. What's
go on then.
What's
Have a
all the
taste.
fuss about these? I don't know what the big deal is about them, son. Tastes like water.
No.
It
My,
does.
genuinely, my kids, they had this, Claire, and
It
they said,
smells like
yeah,
something.
they said they smelt it. My son, because I think this is psychological, because it can only be so nice, can't it? So my kids opened this one, Eden did, and he smelt it and he went, it smells like the sea lion bit at Knowsley Safari Park. And he was loving
Fish.
that. The fish.
A
And then he
fishy smell.
he downed
Oh.
it and he was like, oh, it's delicious.
You want to try that with sprouts? These YouTubers should start saying sprouts. Oh, these are amazing. Get your sprouts in Aldi for 19p.
There was a
They'll
fella
sell
though,
them for
wasn't
a
there?
tenner.
Wakey, yeah, tenner. But there's a new one. There's cans now, cans of Prime that have come over from the States.
Yeah, cans.
The fella in Wakey Wines,
You
he
know
was
why
on the
that
news.
is, don't you? You
Why?
can't refill them with water.
That's genius.
Genius. You've got to buy
That
another
is-
can,
they
haven't
think
you?
of everything, don't they?
Hey.
So Wakey Wines was
Wakey Wines.
selling these for £100 a can. £100 a can.
He's smashing life, him, innit? 100 quid.
100 quid.
It tastes like water.
Cans, and the cans are smaller than the bottles.
Addy, you sure?
Yeah.
330 in a can, isn't it?
No, these are the ones
500 mil,
thin
500
red,
mil.
thin Red
Yeah,
Bull.
they're
cans,
small,
so it's
yeah.
even smaller.
Wow. 100 quid a can.
100 quid a can.
100 quid. Who's paying 100? Tell us the most, those out there with kids, the most amounts. How much did you pay
Well,
for these?
we did buy Prime for £6.99 a bottle. That was like the top that I was willing to go for. I walked out of a shop where it was £9.99. It was £9.99, and there was a fella, like the owner of the shop, was stood by the Prime, just like ready to defend it from the kids who were like coming in, just like
Stealing it.
£9.99. I thought I'm not paying £9.99, but £6.99
It's only
from the petrol
£1.99.
station.
That's
If you
the
can get it
retail
at
price.
£1.99, I couldn't get it. I went to Aldi. There'd been fights. People were dead in the aisles. I was trying to get it.
Well, they do have axes in the middle aisles. What were they expecting?
Dead
Axes and big hammers. Oh, yeah, I'll have a Prime.
They
Just
shouldn't
pick
have
up this pickaxe while I'm at it. Dunk.
Dead person on aisle 3.
We
Clean
have a
up on
cleaner
aisle
to
3.
aisle 3.
Can you imagine?
me.
I just saw a video of the fella like there was Audi people before that. Everyone's queuing outside. There was Audi staff buying Prime
Before it
before
was
it
open.
opened, and people were fuming.
I bet you they were.
I thought it was
Hi.
going to
You just
kick
hide
off.
them in the back, wouldn't you?
Oh, you
Until
would. You
late
think
and
you
then
would?
bring them out.
You think you would?
Wouldn't bother
We
letting them kick off.
what did we do when I was a kid? Let us know.
Tell us the most you've paid for that
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Tell us how much you've paid.
And the other thing
for a
I was
bottle of
interested
this.
to know was when I was a kid, the craze was Tamagotchis. Do you remember Tamagotchis? Did either of your kids want Tamagotchis?
They cards,
No.
like top
No.
tops. What
Who
were they?
remembers what Tamagotchis were? They were
the
these
little animal things with
the little animal.
big ear.
No, it was a computer.
They
The
were
little
trolls.
just
Oh yeah. Go on,
yeah,
sorry.
a
I'll let
little
you speak.
computery thing, but it had an animal on it. It looked shaped like an egg.
You had to
would
keep it
hatch,
alive.
and you had to keep it alive.
I keep forgetting you're the same age as my kids.
Yeah,
That's what I
Well,
keep
a bit
forgetting.
older.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what I keep forgetting. So I should know what you were doing because they
Yeah.
had them. Our Becky's used to die all the time because she never bothered looking after it. Rachel's, of course, like grew and it's still alive, I think, somewhere. I think it's living in the garden. I don't know what's going on with
and
it.
so we queued up for hours. Me and my dad. We went down hours earlier,
Yeah.
queued up, and we waited. They opened. They were handing out the Tamagotchis, and they got to the person in front of me. They gave them the last Tamagotchi.
Oh.
It wasn't even a kid. It was a middle-aged woman. And I just looked at her like like literally crying. She's just like, nah, it's mine. And so then they gave me the 2-stripe Tamagotchi. You know, like we used to call them 2-stripe.
I have no idea what you're on
So
about
this
right
is this may be a Southern thing. Let me know. So kids, you'd have Adidas, 3
now.
stripes
no,
on the
no,
arm.
Adidas.
Yeah, that too.
Adidas.
Adidas.
There you go again
Adidas,
with your
yeah.
nougat.
If we had,
Adidas
if we had
it
a
is.
German person in here, they'd say
Yeah, but they're
Adidas.
German. They can't speak English.
It's their thing.
It's not that they
invented it.
can't speak English.
So anyway, putting that to one side, Adidas,
They say halt and things like that for stop.
3 stripes. Adidas was 3 stripes
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
arm. But every so often you get a kid who
Yeah,
parents got the knockoff version of Adidas, and instead of 3 stripes, it had 2 stripes.
yeah.
So there was a fella who wore one of them to school once on a mufti day, and that was it. He was 2 striped
That was
for the
it.
rest
Never
of his
seen
life.
him. He still
The
is.
rest of his life, I'd still, if I saw him now,
Probably
he'd be
pretty
2
cool
striped.
nowadays, though.
So two-stripe
Charlie.
Chris. It's Chris he was called. And so I got the two.
Charlie would have been funnier, wouldn't it? Come on.
So I got the two-stripe version
doesn't
of
get that.
Tamagotchi, which was the Audi. My kids call it the Audi version because we always buy the Audi stuff.
It was like Nike and Hike.
yeah, that's it.
Tick upside down.
Very good. Let's see. It's saying Audi instead of Audi, as in Audi the car. That's what Dan's saying. You can get a month on Amazon Prime for $9.99. Yeah, it's not the same thing, Ray. How old are you, Ray? Pogs. Pete saying Pogs as well as Slammers. Pogs, they were good. Them. Do you remember Pogs?
I don't remember Pogs.
Pogs,
No.
they were those card things. You had to stack them up and then slam them.
No,
They were
don't remember
brills.
that. Don't remember. What about Claire? What was
big when you were a kid?
When you were a kid, Claire?
Claire.
This age you don't forget.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
Dealy boppers.
I've never heard of Dealey
I've never
Boppers.
heard of a
So it was
Dealey
like
Bobber.
a headband with like springs on it, and then like a polystyrene balls on top.
Where are you from originally?
Originally Leeds.
Yeah.
I was born in Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
But brought up in North Wales.
Okay.
And you'd wear that
were
on
you
your
in
head
North
out in
Wales?
public?
Oh yeah, everyone wore
Were you
them.
in North Wales at this point? Or
Yes.
Leeds?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
in,
Inland
that might
no.
explain things
Yeah.
a little bit. Let's alienate
I'm
the Welsh.
assuming not everyone wore them, right? Adults going around like that, bouncing, loving it, or was it just kids?
Kids, teenagers.
Was it just
was definitely
girls?
teenagers. Mostly girls, but boys wore them as well.
Wow.
Okay.
And then there was the over-the-knee socks, sort of like thigh-length socks. But they only worked if you were thin. And because they sort of like fell down all the time. I remember I had some and they sort of only just came halfway up my thigh, and you're pulling them up and it was like
Oh.
yeah.
I was one of those kids. It might surprise you to
Fame
know.
socks they used to do.
Fame socks.
Yeah, I don't
oh,
remember
they're
Fame.
like, what was the song in Fame?
Flash dance.
I'm
or
not
whatever
getting
it's
it from that.
Oh, leg warmers.
Yeah,
Leg
leg
warmers.
warmers.
Yeah.
I never had them. Don't get me wrong. Right?
But there was the leg warmers, and then there was the wrist sweatbands and the head
Yeah,
sweatbands.
but
and they're all neon.
I don't know how old you are, Claire, but no, I'm not. I don't. But I remember Bay City rollers. That was the first sort of faddish thing
Yeah.
I remember. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
with the
everyone wearing tartan.
white kecks and tartan stripes down them,
Yeah.
and the scarf around your wrist and all that, and the like feather haircut. It was almost a mullet.
It was.
Wow.
Oh, it was a mullet. It was the original mullet. The Bay City rollers. Bye bye baby.
Oh, I know that
baby,
one. I know that one.
goodbye. Sang a little bit worse than that, to be honest. So yeah, I remember that. I remember.
There we go.
What about ski jumpers? Do you remember them?
Ski
Um,
jumpers.
No.
They're
I
like
remember,
woolly jumpers, but quite patterny.
Oh, I
ski
do remember the
jumpers.
80s sort of like very patterned jumpers, and
was a
then
lot
the
of them.
waistcoats. Do you remember in the 90s everyone was wearing waistcoats?
Yeah,
Didn't do
I think.
waistcoats. This is a Welsh thing again.
think
I
mine-
no,
think.
it
no,
wasn't. No,
I think my
everyone
mum
wears
rocked a
waistcoats.
waistcoat. That was
Yeah.
around the time the women were and the men were wearing glasses like that. Do you remember that
Absolute
snooker
giant
player?
Glasses.
Oh, we had the
Yeah.
snooker player had the waistcoat on as well. I don't know if that
Yeah.
was a snooker
Yeah.
thing.
No, it was an Elton John
Like that,
thing. wasn't it?
windows. Like that.
Waistcoat.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
good guy.
What
Leg
about shop-
warmers,
shop or
people are
bike?
saying. Mork and Mindy, teeny boppers. Do they wear teeny boppers?
Nanu.
Yes, probably.
Alan's had a stroke, I think. He's gone mental. He's just shouting random words.
Tell them what it is. Nanu.
Nanu.
Yeah, what's that?
Nanu.
What are you doing with your hands?
Mork and Mindy. You got no idea, have you, lad? You're just a youngster,
no,
aren't you?
but I didn't. Pogo sticks.
Pogo sticks, yeah.
Yeah.
Them other things that you bounced on, what space hoppers. Remember them?
Yeah, no.
Chopper bikes.
Nokia with Snake. Now we're
I
getting
had a
more to my
chopper.
generation.
Chopper bikes.
I had a chopper,
I had
yeah.
a chopper bike. They were great, them chopper
Tonight's
bikes.
episode
They've become cool again now.
They're really expensive.
They
in a
are,
retro
yeah.
one
Copper
now.
bikes.
Flippin' heck.
Chopper.
Yeah. Are you on
Bikes.
drugs? What?
I'm not in your two-stripe Charlie, mate, whatever his name is, being
What's
in.
going on with you?
I remember the first video games.
Danny's saying brain lickers, but I don't know if that's
my
a rude
dad
thing.
brought one home.
Bleep.
Yeah.
Bleep.
It's just back and forth.
Used to play tennis, and when you got good at it, they made the bat smaller.
Yeah.
Bleep. Bleep. It's called grandstand. Boss, I've still got
All
it.
right, let's
Still
move.
got it in the
All
loft.
right, let's move on.
I'll have
then.
you the game one day. Live on it.
Look, and
I'll
last
beat you.
one. Margs was saying about the clackers. Do you remember those? The clackers where you go like that,
Used to do with them balls as well, didn't
break
you?
your wrist. Early 70s.
Balls on a stick.
Yeah, ball on a bat, ball on a stick. Alan
do it
just
on a stick
constantly
as
like
well.
that, just missing it, hitting
No,
himself
on
in
a
the head
stick.
every time.
Two balls on
Donk.
a stick. on string, and you used to whack them together.
What on a stick?
Hoop and a
balls.
stick.
Hoop and a stick.
That
Yeah, two
Victorian
balls, two,
that
like-
was.
Yeah, I had a hoop and a stick to roll
Back
it
in
along
the
like that.
warehouse. When I was in the warehouse, can I have some more, please, Tory Tom?
You wouldn't have got any. Not a chance.
Can I have some more, Tory Tom?
Very good. Donny Osmond, there's all sorts
Donny
coming out. This
Osmond's,
is really
yeah.
good. Very good.
All our
Very-
nostalgia.
Very good. Moon boots. Dan
Moon boots.
Morgan's is what moon. Is that your Dan?
That's Dan.
Yeah.
Moon boots.
Moon
What were
boots.
Oh, moon
Yeah.
boots.
I don't
They
remember
were-
them,
they
but
were like-
Dan's younger than you.
Yeah, but I remember those. They were They were like give you the impression you were on walking in space. Eh? That's what they were. Do you remember?
Fat
Yeah.
giant, yeah.
Did you
I-
go boom, boom, boom?
I don't know what
Boom,
you're
boom.
talking about. That's a song. innit?
Giant steps are what you take.
We should stop doing this because you're
Walking on the
making a show of
moon.
me. Very good. We need a 70s night at Finnegan's. Should we do a 70s night at
retro
Finnegan?
night. We could do that.
You could wear your leg warmers.
You
I
could
could
just
wear my
come dressed as
waistcoat.
you are.
Oh! Do you know what? I saw that coming from about 25 miles away, but I
You
couldn't
didn't
stop
get in
you.
there quick, did you? Say it to me. Right.
That's it. Let's
See
do
you,
a
mate.
70s then. Kev's saying it. Old Tomo's in. He's saying, let's source some of
Thomas?
these
Kev
fashion
Thomas?
items for,
Oh, brilliant.
for Alan and Tom.
Kev Thomas has got one of them voices that should be doing voiceover adverts, hasn't he?
Definitely,
A
yeah.
Has
top
he?
voice.
Yeah.
We should have him on.
Shall we
at
get
some
him to
point.
do a voiceover
When's
for
he
us?
up
Like,
next? Yeah, we need him to
It's
do
up
some of
in
them.
May.
who is he?
He's one of Claire's trustee people. I
Oh,
think.
is he?
Yeah, and friend from
Many years
from
ago.
school.
Oh wow,
But
very
he's got
good.
this voice, which
Has
is
he?
honestly, it should be like on, like Big Brother or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of one of them iconic voices.
Okay,
Top voice.
70s night at Finnegan's. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
We'll do it.
Um,
We'll have to do it after the comedy night.
here we go. Dan's watching, but he's saying, "Mum, where's the TV remote?" Does that mean he's trying to change channel?
Probably.
Remember when they were on a string, Dan? They were on a cable. Your TV remote was on a cable. Do you remember that?
He won't remember. That he won't. How old do you think he is?
I'm just asking. His
How
mum
old?
might.
You got two kids, haven't you, Claire? How old are your kids?
Daniel's 23 and Isaac's 21.
Very good. Dan,
There you go.
Loads of comments tonight. Danny's saying Tom already has his haircut from the 70s. Yo-yos were huge. People are loving this.
Yeah,
Kids of the
yo-yos.
90s did Heelys. Chris said you could tell Chris is maybe a little bit older because she's saying she used to put tennis balls in her mum's tights and do a routine against the wall. What routine?
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
What's that
Claire?
about?
The banging the...
Balls.
Yeah, it was a game. Yeah, banging the balls.
The girls used to do all them clappy things as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Remember
Oh,
them sort
towel-
of songs to
French
clapping?
skipping with elastics.
Yeah. Oh, I know that one. Yeah. And towels back in my generation. Them pants that had poppers all down the side. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
Kappa. I think they were Kappa. They were
And
ace
they used to
then.
come apart like
You
strippers
could literally
pants.
unbutton them
that
all
what
the
they
way
were?
up to the top.
Strippers pants.
No.
Well, that's what they are.
They were
You
selling
can
them.
rip them off.
They were selling them to kids. I don't think that's what they were.
Wow.
But yeah, you could unpop them if you were a bit warm. Down south, it was always warm. Just unpop them. You got yourself a pair of shorts.
Honestly.
Do you know what the equivalent is now? I'm getting older. I've got a pair of trousers that you can unzip and turn them into shorts.
I hate you sometimes, you know. I literally hate you sometimes.
Sometimes
Don't
I,
ever wear them when you're with me.
sometimes I
Seriously.
wear them, but I just unzip one leg because the left leg's a little bit warmer than the right. So unzip one side, let that breathe for a while, zip it back on.
Honestly, I've got no words.
I tell you what, that's a hit. People have loved
got
reminiscing
no
about that.
Words.
Liverpool playing tonight.
No.
Southampton.
Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube. All right, just stop
Remember that?
saying things now.
I'm just remembering stuff from when I was young.
People are loving it.
Action,
All right,
man.
it's not the full Monty Allen. That's what Chris is saying. Where's the shorts? I can wear them.
Hey.
70s night.
He's got a fan who likes him. Where's
Ray,
shorts?
Ben
Where's-
Sherman
where's
shirts.
Pete?
They were proper.
Where's Peter?
Good.
Whatever
Okay,
his name
anyway,
was.
we're going to stop.
Likes you in shorts,
we're going to
doesn't he?
stop shouting random things. Moving on. What are we doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing that next day.
No, let's move on. Let's come back to that.
Come back to
we'll
that,
go to
okay.
this. Right.
Oh,
Great.
Rishi Sunak?
Fantastic. We've already. No, we're not talking about.
We're not talking about
We're
Rishi
moving
Sunak.
on. We're
He
getting.
said he goes to the doctors. I want to know how he even gets
How
an
do you
appointment.
get an appointment to the
How do you get an
doctors?
appointment? You're not ringing your doctor and asking for an appointment, Rishi
They-
Sunak. You absolute lying Tory. There's no way you're ringing up in the morning and
you
getting
know
an
what?
appointment that day. There's no way.
I think he's actually quite a nice fellow, is she?
Do you?
I think he's had a hard life.
I mean,
he's had a hard time.
Yeah.
I think
He looks like he's had a
time.
hard time.
And
doesn't
do
he?
you know what?
What?
I think he said he does go to the doctors.
He doesn't.
I mean,
He says he's used other healthcare professionals.
I don't know. Did anyone?
Occasionally, like all the time.
Did anyone get?
He said he was registered at the doctors. It doesn't mean he went to the doctors.
Well, that's true. Do you know what? I got a text message just before Christmas, and I felt really it was a personal attack because it was just my doctor saying, "Don't even think about trying to make an appointment to see me." I thought, have I offended? Have you offended you? But apparently, lots of people got those text messages. It wasn't just personal.
You go on our doctors, and it basically says, "Use the staff shortages. There are no appointments," and you're like,
They just told me.
"In
They
about
said,
3 months, staff shortages."
don't even think about getting ill over Christmas. Don't. What was it? They also said, don't attempt anything dangerous.
You've probably
don't attempt any dangerous things because you can't see us over Christmas.
You've probably still
Really
registered
ruined my
down
Christmas.
south, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
I don't blame you if you're not.
Doctors, he comes up to
down.
visit me.
Oh,
Claire's
call
brought
out.
us Toblerones.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I could blow your mind with this. If you've not had a Toblerone, if you've had Toblerones before, there's a bear on the logo.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Where then? Point
I
it
think you
out.
said it there on the logo.
You didn't even point to the logo.
It's it. It's there. That little triangle thing.
There's a bear.
There's a bear on there.
Rocked my world when I found that out. You know those memes where it's like I was this years old when I found out.
Yeah, you remember it.
That rocked my world when I saw there was a bear in there.
Very good. Very good.
Let's have a chat
what
to
are we doing
Claire
anyway?
anyway.
Yeah, let's
Instead of
bring
just
Claire on
shouting
properly.
random toys
Claire
at
on
Claire,
properly.
let's get her in properly and welcome her. Claire, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you? That's such an open-ended
Start where you're at
question,
now,
isn't
and
it?
then we'll.
What do you mean? We're not going to work backwards to when? When she
she's not
wore
gonna
those.
say. Well, when I was born
socks.
in Leeds.
No, she's not going to start there. Tell us a bit.
She's Claire, Ykids.
Yeah, tell us a little bit. Go on, Claire. You can tell we've done this before.
So I'm Claire, and I run a charity called Ykids, which is based in Bootle, and we're about changing the lives of children, young people, and families in our community, and making life fun and better. We're also faith-based, so we share the good news about Jesus as well. And currently we're doing all sorts of different things. We have about 10 different youth and children's groups a week. We have families work, a community pantry, and we also run a children's Victorian explorer-themed steampunk bookshop.
Wow.
Steampunk.
Steampunk.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
What's
Go on.
steampunk?
It's like it's a fashion thing.
Well,
You
if
won't
you-
understand.
If you imagine it's sort of a genre that, if you imagine the Victorians never discovered electricity and they're still using steam in the future.
Okay.
So they have things like steam-powered rocket ships and steam-powered computers. And
Okay.
so it's a science fiction futuristic Victorians.
Okay.
Claire, the ideas you come up with, we
That's
was
all
chatting
now.
to you.
I know.
We was chatting to you beforehand, and you said
You're
you
trying
just
to buy a 10-metre
trying
duck.
to buy like a 10-meter duck.
Yeah, I can't afford the 10-metre duck. We might be able to get a 3-metre duck.
It's not going to be the same, is it? Like a
No.
10-foot duck
No.
or a 30-foot duck.
Well, I'd love the 30-foot duck. And if anyone would like to
Anyone wanna
donate
donate?
£2,000
Yeah.
for a 30-foot duck,
I think if
they
they donate £2,000, we'll pay our Roadcaster Pro off it. Joyce's still fuming about that. We have to lock her out.
So, how
Sorry.
incredible charity.
Yeah.
But if we go back a little bit, you talked about part of the Ykids thing is motivated by your faith.
Yeah.
But how did you grow up in a Christian house? Had you always been a Christian? I always find it interesting to find out how other people end up coming to faith as well.
I didn't. I was 15 when I became a Christian. But what was really interesting is that God was calling me from even a really young child. So the age of 7, I wanted to go to this church youth group, and you had to be 10 to go. And I lied and pretended I was 10, and then felt so guilty. I pretended I got a stomachache to go home. And
You
then
lied to go to church.
I lied to go to church. Yeah.
Normally lie to not go to church, don't you?
That's the way
What
around.
colour was the priest wearing? Hey, Miracle!
That's what my kids do. They flip that one. They lie to not come to church.
Yeah. I've got a stomachache. All right, Tom, but you've got to go.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So-
Claire.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
so
so
you was
then-
drawn to.
I was drawn to church, and then I tried to join a Sunday school of a local cult.
wow.
Thankfully, they didn't follow it up.
Wow.
Then the Gideons came into school and he gave me a Bible, and I said, I'm going to read this, and
Yeah.
then the comics took over. And then I went along to a big event with David Watson. So David Watson was part of the
Teen
huge
Challenge.
movement in Britain, revival and bringing drama and all sorts into churches. And he was on stage speaking, and I had this big event, and I went forward. But I didn't know why I'd gone forward. I just remember this sweaty man talking to me on the stage. I look back and I go,
That
oh,
wasn't
my
me
goodness.
before you say anything.
I
Okay.
spoke to Dave Watson. So it wasn't until I was 15 I was invited to go along to a youth group by a friend, and there were all these young people there. My previous experience at church, I'd actually joined a church, an Anglican church, for a year, and I'd been in the choir, and no adult had ever spoken to me for a whole year.
Was that at one of Alan's churches? Because Alan, that's what Alan does. He won't talk to you for at least a year.
Well,
he's just testing you to
people
see
know,
if you.
don't
They know now.
They
know
know.
now.
They
Sorry,
know.
Claire. Go on. Carry on.
So I was went along to this youth group, and there were boys there,
Okay.
which is good. And they did like an evening service, and they sang lively songs and choruses.
Okay.
And then after the evening service, they had cake.
Oh,
And then there was like an
Smashing life.
after church fellowship fun thing.
nice.
So there were boys and there was cake. I mean, what more to go want?
Smashing it.
Smashing life. That's how to do it.
That's how to do
Absolutely.
it.
That's why there's loads of women in church.
That's-
There's boys and cake. Not so many boys when you get a bit older, but loads of cake.
There's cake. They still keep it up with a cake. Okay, so look, you
So-
just hung around because you
Well,
found a
that's
fella
how
and you ate some food.
Well, that's how I got there to begin with.
Okay,
And I was very lonely, and hormones and anything that wore trousers, I fancied it. And this guy came to speak, and he talked about being a Christian. I thought, well, I believe in God, so I must be a Christian. And he said that doesn't make you a Christian. This is all from the front. So I've got like an internal conversation going on in my head about I must be a Christian, I pray, I must be a Christian, I read the Bible, my parents believe in God, I go to church, I must be a Christian. And he talked about those things don't make you a Christian. I was like, oh, well, what does then? And for me, as a kid, I thought, well, what if I got everything I ever wanted, and I was slim and beautiful and had a gorgeous husband and had loads of money and I was rich and I was famous? Then what?
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. That I hadn't got any purpose in my life. So I went forward and talked to this guy and asked for a little booklet he was offering. And he said to me, "Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb?"
Because that's attractive.
I'd have been like,
I just want a cake, mate. I just want a cake. I don't even want raspberry sauce on it, lad. Never mind lamb's blood.
So yeah, I
Why
know clue
was
what I was
someone
talking
saying
about.
I don't know what's going
why do Christians do? Why do we do? I put myself in that boat, but
Yeah.
sometimes we just throw stuff out at people.
I haven't got a clue what's going
Well,
on yet.
exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So
So I went home. I took this little booklet home, and I read it, and I just asked Jesus to be my saviour. And for me, I'd never felt loved growing up. I've got quite a broken family, and over the next couple of days, for the first time in my life, I felt loved, and that God
Amazing.
loved me.
yeah.
And all sorts of things sort of went pear-shaped after that, to be honest. Pretty straight away. And I think I remember resolving, I thought, I hadn't met other Christians. So I thought, well, God, even if I'm the only one, I'm going to follow you.
Wow.
A couple of years later, I went along to Spring Harvest, and there were 5,000 Christians in
Wow.
attendance. And I was like, I didn't know there were this many Christians in the world.
Yeah.
And
They all get together for the summer, don't they?
Yeah.
They all go to the same place. Meet you there. Same place, same day.
Prestatyn,
Same
of all
Bring your
places.
lamb's blood.
We don't get one. No showers, just lamb's blood. We're laughing.
Oh, wow, sorry. We're going to get in trouble.
We will
tonight.
get in trouble. Well, I
Go
will.
on.
You'll
Sorry.
worm your way out of it somehow.
So, so that's how I became a Christian and started going along to the church, which added bonus, there were boys there and cake. And when I was 17, I started to learn about the Holy Spirit and who he was and the gifts of the Holy Spirit. And, ask God for the gifts of the Holy Spirit. And I thought, oh, and then I got a bit clever then. He said, so if I ask for the gift of faith, I've got faith for the rest of them.
Nailed it.
So I asked God for the gift of faith.
Yeah, that's the thing in Solomon, isn't it? In the Bible, he's like, God says anything you can have, and he's like,
I've done this.
I've done
Rub
this
the lamp
before,
once,
yeah.
you've got one.
You
Lewis.
can have whatever you want. He said,
I've done this. I've seen Aladdin.
And does he ask for as many wishes
Wisdom.
as he can have? Oh, wisdom, that's it.
Wisdom.
And he smashes it,
Yeah.
doesn't he? That
Well, he
a good-
realizes with
and that-
wisdom he gets everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Genius.
See? Yeah. I wouldn't
Tom's
have
top
done
tips.
that. Tom's top tips.
So faith then, and so I mean that's an incredible story to come from, I guess, from a worldview where you're growing up and not in church necessarily, or was that right? Were you?
Yeah, well, what's interesting, because the moment I became a Christian, started going to church, my family went ballistic.
Really?
Yeah, and I asked to get baptized and I got yelled at, had a 4-hour lecture. And
That's because they were thinking about that ram's blood. Lamb's blood.
I remember even taking a copy of the hymn book to show them they weren't a weird sect.
Yeah.
Look, it's a redemption hymnal.
Yeah.
Didn't help at all.
And our church, we're trying really hard. We don't want to just be, we want to see other people come and, experience something of faith, because we found it's been this life-changing, amazing thing following Jesus. And so we're inviting other people in, but we're so aware, like there's this young person, maybe 19, 20, we baptized the other week, and for our family, just come and see someone come into a
It's
building,
quite bonkers,
into a
isn't it?
like a big paddling pool, and we dunked her under the water. Like for them, they're thinking, "What?
Why are you trying to drown me, daughter? What's going on here?"
And I can totally understand. And obviously we are aware of that, so we're trying to walk them through and explain everything. And I think they come away, hopefully, not thinking we was completely mental, but actually
Well, they can comment in
they
it.
You are.
we tricked them. But that we're trying to explain some of these things.
Explain baptism,
to
what it's
people.
about. Yeah,
And
we get a lot of people in the church who don't know the Christian language. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And we forget how much we use Christian language.
Can do.
And so we try to explain everything to the nth degree, don't we, to make it more so
Yeah.
they know what we're on about.
Yeah, because
That's like saying washed in the
What's
blood of
washed
the
in the
lamb.
blood of the lamb?
People
Yeah, it's
think
just
people will
creepy.
think you're
Yeah.
bonkers. Right? You're from Wales, so that's already a non-starter. But people will think you're bonkers. I mean, it basically refers to Old Testament ritual in the temple, doesn't it? Where the lamb would be killed for the forgiveness of sins. So if you're washed in the blood of the lamb, it's saying you're kind of washed in Jesus's blood, who was known as the Lamb of God, based on that reference.
All right, mate. We know you've been to theology.
I'm trying to explain it to the
go on.
lads
Sorry.
in the
Yeah,
pub.
go on. Yeah, go on.
Which is so it's sort of saying when someone says that to you, it sounds mental if you've not know what they're on about.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, has Jesus forgiven you?
Yeah.
That's what it's basically saying. Just say that.
Yeah.
Why didn't it would have been easier just to say that
Just
bit,
say-
wouldn't it?
just
would.
say,
Yeah.
You're forgiven by Jesus. Because of his
Thank
death
you.
on the cross, you're forgiven.
Yeah.
know.
No, just keep it simple.
Let's keep it simple. Washed by the blood of the lamb. Dear me. You're in the Lamb's Book of Life. To be honest, I didn't know he had a book. What's it start with? Bah!
So
I don't know what you're on tonight.
tell us a bit about Ykids then, Claire. How does that
Where did
happen?
Ykids come from?
Okay.
This is amazing charity doing so many
it's
good
massive
things.
now.
Really
But I remember
incredible.
back in the day when it started, it was you and Janet in a little office.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So
A former
anyway,
toilet.
yeah, a former toilet. Janet Taylor, who might be watching.
Yeah.
But so yeah, where did that come from? If initially the idea, the concept, and then stepping out, because I remember you stepping out. You had no money, but I want you to tell the story.
Yeah.
So when I was 15, my whole childhood I'd been bullied quite a lot, and I became a Christian, and I hated kids. absolutely hated all kids.
Oh,
Amen.
And then there was this lad I fancied in the church who went off to Spring Harvest to help with the kids. I thought, I'll go and do that because he's going, not realising I wouldn't get a chance to see him the whole week. And then that they would give me, he was doing the 5 to 7s, and they gave me 10 7-year-olds I had to look after. And it's like, I hate kids. But working with them, I began to see that they weren't monsters, but they were just small people. And then they asked us I asked the children, you know, what do they want to pray about? So I asked these children, this one little girl said, can we pray for my little brother? He's 4 and doesn't want to go and see yellow granddad anymore.
Oh.
And it turned out that granddad had liver cancer.
Oh.
And that for me was really the moment everything clicked. And I realised that children were people. And that life happens to children the same way it does to adults, but they don't have the emotional equipment to be able to deal with it. And every adult I'd ever met that was screwed up because of things that happened to him as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was one of those adults because the stuff that had happened to me.
Yeah.
I thought, if I'd known Jesus when I was little, even when there were no trusted adults in my life, but I had him to turn to. And that for me was my calling, that to put trusted adults into children's lives who didn't have it, but also to introduce them to Jesus. So even if there weren't anyone they could turn to, they could always turn to him. So that was really how my calling happened, and began to do kids work and volunteer in the church and doing an awful lot of it, and then ended up getting a job in Rochdale and worked for 12 churches in Rochdale.
Wow.
And
Know how to get the money's worth, the Methodists. Definitely.
Oh dear.
Can't even do one a day, can you?
No, you couldn't. Yeah, 12 churches.
Wow.
And then from there, I really began to have passion to enable churches to reach out to children and young people. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could go on tour and do that? And we then started to do Easter people. Plenty of funny stories about that, Alan. So to Easter people, and people kept saying, come and teach us how to do kids work. And I felt, look, I live in, Rochdale. I'm not working with the worst kids in the world. And how can I go and tell people how to do stuff if I'm in a nice suburban area? I need to work in the inner city where it's tough, where life is tough for kids. And then maybe I've got something to say. Round about that time, God called my husband, Mark, and myself. Well, Mark had already been called many years, but myself as well, to Liverpool. And we didn't know how we were going to get here. But it was 20 years before God finally said, go. And we came here. We had no money. It's another whole lot of miracles that we got a house. Someone gave us some money to get a deposit, and just getting the house was a miracle in itself. And I started to work as a community worker. And literally 6 months into the job, our children were both babies at the time. 6 months into the job, God said, take Ykids full time as a charity. And so I had to give up my job and really took a huge leap of faith, because we didn't have any savings. We were barely getting by on one salary and a mortgage and 2 small children. And I remember that first September, and my first office was like a little room in the house. And do not think about money. Do not think about money, because there wasn't enough money to pay the bills that month, let alone going forward. But by the end of that September, there was enough money in the bank. People giving us gifts. People we hadn't seen for years, didn't know what we were doing, had given us gifts, and money had come in. And there was enough money to last us till December. We then lived for a couple of years by faith.
Wow.
And that was scary, but and we didn't have loads of money, and we didn't, but we had enough. And I remember one day coming to church, people didn't know the dire straits we were in, and we didn't have enough money to buy food that week. And somebody gave us £30. I cried all the way to Aldi. Literally there was enough to put 10 quid of petrol in that would last us the week, enough money to buy, a chicken and some food so we could actually give the kids packed lunches. It was one of those.
Wow.
Just every time God just caught us, and that taught us a lot about faith.
Yeah.
When I said earlier that I asked for faith?
Yeah.
then the first thing he does is test it.
Yeah, that's it. It was
So-
stitched right up then.
Absolutely.
End up shopping in Aldi and everything.
That was back in the day.
That was back in the day when it was
Aldi was
proper
brand new.
rubbish.
Yeah, mate.
Wow. I mean, it always amazes me. I love getting into Finnegan's and hearing stories from people. I mean, Chris is saying this is the best Wednesday night I've ever watched. It's not even finished yet. And it's something about hearing people's stories where we say this again and again, where you get someone to tell a bit of their experience following Jesus. And it just sounds like a crazy life, like scary, but also like proper adventurous.
Yeah.
And so off the back of those times where, like, you know, God's having to almost give you enough money to put food on the table, and then you grow this charity off the back of it. That I mean,
we don't want to know the actual specifics, but how big is the charity now?
It's doing loads.
In fair, you had nothing.
Yeah, you
start with absolutely nothing.
And
15 staff now.
15
Wow.
staff.
Yeah.
Which again, it's a charity, so you know you're raising your own money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have to pay nothing for charity people to you. No, it's incredible, isn't it? And to
Loads of different projects.
Massive.
I mean, I got a band out of Easter People. That's what
you got banned.
I got Ykids.
Oh, you got Ykids then. So Alan's not.
There's a surprise. Fancy giving me a microphone and hiding me behind the screen.
They were the dark days.
I blame you,
Do you know,
Claire.
that was one of the best events we ever did, you know, with Easter People. It really was. They just didn't get us, Alan.
Oh,
They just,
dear me.
they
It
were
was funny
Southern.
as. It was funny as. Funny as.
Very
We
good.
interviewed Why Friday, who I kept calling them Why Friday because they were from Newcastle.
You surprised me that you got banned. I wonder why that happened.
Interviewed them by roping one to a chair and
taped
gaffer
them.
taping another
the
one.
other ones
Yeah.
to the chair,
Yeah.
so they couldn't get away.
Wow.
And then just got into them.
Just imagine you
I got
guys
given-
thinking this is funny, and they're like wondering whether they should
They-
phone the police.
Yeah.
Like, is this a hostage
Live in front of
situation?
400 people.
They give me the character called Ratty, who was a rat,
Typecast.
and I had to be moody and ratty.
Well, I bet you struggled,
Brilliant.
mate. I bet you struggled.
Brilliant.
And then they allowed you.
It's the part of my life. That's where my life peaked
Yeah,
at that moment.
but you do things that are good as well.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
you, Claire? Not just.
Absolutely. She does brilliant stuff.
I'm working in
Brilliant stuff
Bootle, where we know I love Bootle, but we know there's challenges.
I'm
in
from
Bootle.
Bootle.
innit? You're from. We live in. This is Bootle, isn't it?
Not
Secret
really.
location. But,
Not really Bootle, this.
yeah.
People round here that go flip on you if
Would
you
they?
call it Bootle, yeah.
What if I was wearing my trouser shorts?
Especially there. And your umbrella up with your nugget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have I lived this long? They've been very forgiving, my friends in Liverpool.
Oh, dear me.
So how can people find out a little bit more about Ykids, Claire, if they want to get involved, if they want to give you a big check, loads of money?
Sure.
They
Oh,
can,
yeah.
£2,000 for a 30-foot.
yeah, if you want to buy
Rubber
a 30 foot,
duck that will hang off a crane over
Yeah.
the canal,
Yeah.
so we have a website, ykids.co.uk.
Fantastic.
And we're all over social media if you want to look us up. And then we've also got our bookshop, which is Kingsley & Co.
It's great. We take the kids there. They love it. It's so good.
in the Strand.
I've been in the Strand.
Yeah. Well, you need to come to Kingsley & Co. It's all,
I haven't
it's
been
all
to
in
Kingsley and
frontage.
Co, but I
You
went
need
to the
come down.
Strand.
All I'm going to say is, Claire, Alan leaves his shopping till the day before Christmas. He calls it man's shopping day. But he's got to get a present for Joyce. He's left it last minute. He goes to the Strand.
Claire, there's nothing there.
And I love the Strands, but you're not getting a Christmas present for your wife the day
Claire,
before
If
Christmas.
you want some dragon earwax, we could
Yeah.
help.
There was nothing there. It was terrible.
You could have gone to Kingsley & Co, got a book.
She's, I mean,
Oh, and that's
more fuming than she was with her toothbrush. Her lecky toothbrush. I thought it was a genius move.
very good.
She didn't like it. Just in case you're ever thinking about getting Emma one. Don't.
Sorry, Joycey. Sorry, Joycey.
sorry,
Good. So
babe.
people can check that out. That'd be fantastic. Right, we're going to play a game.
Oh.
We're going to play a game.
We're going to play a game.
And do you know what?
We've got a new feature.
We've got a new feature, and here we go. I've even got a little jingle for it. Wonky donkey. Swanky donkey.
Blast from the past.
Well,
Wow.
it's very current though. It's very on trend
Yeah, on trend. I think you'll find.
because we're doing it.
Creating the trend.
That's it. You see the kids walking up and down
They'll be
the
singing
square.
it. They'll be singing
Singing
wonky donkey.
with one short leg on,
with-
one trouser leg.
One trouser leg.
Yeah.
That'll be just your kids,
It's
that mate.
just, send them out. Go on, learn how to survive.
Don't forget your royal blood.
Go and tell them you vote Tory. Very good. Wonky donkey. Here we
Wonky
go.
donkey.
So if you don't know how it works, I'm not going to explain it to you. No, okay, here we go. Claire, the way it works, wonky, you know how wonky donkey works. But for people at home, basically I give you a clue
Yeah.
and, right, I've got one here. Naked disagreement. That's the clue.
Naked disagreements. And what is
And so
it?
the answer's got to rhyme. So the clue
like
is
wonky donkey.
naked disagreement. If you were naked, you would be
Nude.
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 And what rhymes with nude?
Snood.
It does. But if it's not,
Nude.
it's a naked.
Rude.
It's a naked disagreement. You're disagreeing with someone.
Nude.
You guys are going to be great at this.
Rude.
I said rude.
If you have an
Disagree.
argument, with someone in the comments put them out there.
Nude.
Misery.
Argument.
Naked disagreement would be a nude
Feud.
Feud.
Nude
Ah,
feud.
Nude
right,
feud.
yeah.
I got it.
All right. Well,
I've
you,
got to give it the time.
that would be the full 2 minutes, Claire. So you would have
Yeah.
got
Nothing.
approximately nothing.
You've got to beat Mikey's score.
Which would put you second on the
Yeah.
leaders board, but there's only you would be the second person to play. So
Oh,
Do you know-
second. Do you know, I once ran 100 metres and came second.
did you?
Yeah.
How many people were in that race?
2.
Were you wearing your socks?
Yeah.
Okay, so nude feud that would be. There
Okay,
it is.
okay.
Emma got it. Emma's good at this.
Oh, she is good at it.
Mandy got it. Nude feud. This you can shout in the comments at home. Okay?
I reckon you've played
Let us
this
know
before
what it
and
is.
then you know them all.
Mel Ponting went with my not barefaced cry. It's got to rhyme. It's got to rhyme. Okay.
Got a rhyme.
It's
I
got
need to
to
remember
rhyme.
that.
You got the timer ready?
I've got the timer ready. I'll start it after you've said the first
After
question.
I've said the first clue, because we
Yeah.
want to give you as much time as possible.
Got 2 minutes, Click.
It's got to rhyme.
Got to get 8.
Not 2 hours.
No, 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'm helping you.
I'm
I
not
can't
going to
see
start
that.
with that one because I want you to have a
A chance.
chance.
Yeah, please.
Okay, here we go. And the first clue is suitcase label. Suitcase label. Think about it. It's got a rhyme.
Suitcase.
It's got a rhyme. You can help, Alan. you
Travel
want-
line.
Travel line. It's got a rhyme, mate.
Suitcase.
It's got a rhyme.
Case.
It's another
trolley.
word for a suitcase.
What was
Bag.
it?
Bag. There we go. What's it?
Bag.
Label?
Tag.
Bag tag. Bag tag.
Oh,
There's one.
brilliant. One.
I'm giving you a little bit more help than I normally would, but
Bag tag.
single, one burrowing creature. So it's one burrowing creature on its own. What could it be?
Mole. Whole. No.
Whole mole.
Whole. One.
A whole. If it's on its own, it's on its own.
Alone.
Number 1.
Mole.
It's got a rhyme. Got a rhyme with mole.
Mole. So mole's right.
Mole's right.
It's,
If there's one on its
Soul mole.
Soul mole.
Soul
Yes,
mole.
soul mole.
We're
You're
flying
flying.
here. Flying.
Exchanges sunglasses. You exchange your
Swap.
sunglasses. Swap.
Swap specs.
It's not swap. And specs. It doesn't rhyme. It's got to rhyme. It's got to rhyme.
Exchange.
Exchanges sunglasses.
That's swaps.
What's another word for
Exchanges.
sunglasses? You can pass if you want.
Pass.
Okay. All right. I shouldn't have given you that option. Okay. Skinny monarch. A skinny.
Slim.
King.
Slim Jim.
Sling king.
Thin. Thin king.
Slim Chow.
It's got a rhyme. It's got a rhyme.
Thin.
Always got a rhyme.
Skinny monarch.
It's not the king.
Thin.
It's not the king. It's the
Thin.
other one.
Thin.
No,
Queen.
stop just saying
Queen.
thin.
Skinny.
Queen. There we go.
Something queen.
Skinny. Another word for
Lean
skinny.
queen.
Lean queen.
Lean
Lean queen. There we go. Well done, Claire.
Half
Next
a
one.
minute left, Claire.
Decaying thread. Decaying thread. What's another word for thread?
Dead.
No.
Dead
Got a
thread.
rhyme.
Thread.
It's not another word for correct.
String. Cotton.
Cotton. There you
Cotton.
go.
Cotton.
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 What could it be?
Decaying.
Rotten
Decay-
cotton.
Rotten
Rotten
cotton. Yay. Extra seat.
Extra
Extra
seat.
seat.
Extra seat. Spare.
More.
Yep. If you've got a
Spare
spare what? It's another
chair.
word for seat.
Spare chair.
chair.
Yeah.
Smashing it. Alan's getting it. Complete fish. Complete fish. Quick.
Full.
Gotta be
Whole
quick.
soul.
Whole soul.
Hey,
Yeah.
still got one left here,
Last
come
one. Last one. Unhappy mother. Unhappy mother.
Sad.
Sad. Mad. Sad.
Mad.
Sad. It's
mad.
not sad. Time's up.
Time's up.
Unhappy mother. Tell us at home. I'm not going to give you that one. Unhappy mother. Tell us at home. Let's count
mother.
them up.
Mad.
No, it's gone. Leave it for the people at home.
Okay.
Glum mum.
Glum mum.
Glum,
Glum
glum.
mum. Let's have a go.
good.
Got it in the end.
But
Let's
you were out of
see.
time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Into second
Oh,
place.
second
That's not
place.
6.
Second
that's not
place.
bad.
Very good. Do you know, honest, I'd take that. I'd take 6 after
Yeah.
the way it went. And you had him shouting in my ear constantly.
I was only trying to help.
Not much help there,
I'm
mate.
dyslexic.
Not much. Do you know what? Dyslexia is a real thing people struggle with. He
I've
just
got it.
uses it as an excuse for everything.
I've got it.
You haven't got a certificate.
I have.
You have.
I've
I'll
got to
see it.
report this.
Let me
tick.
see it.
I'll go and get it.
Not now.
In a minute. It's in church.
All right.
I have it there for when I say something wrong on a Sunday. Here, look, it's not my
Look at
fault.
that. Glum mum. Yes, Mandy. Mandy's good at this. Marg's glum. Barbara. Yeah, very good. People are smashing it. Karen's even smashing it in there. Peter. Old Peter James Collins. Peter.
Oh, Peter
he's
James
in.
Collins.
He's
Yeah, I
in.
know, Pete.
Nice to see you,
Yeah.
Peter.
Oscar, I used to call him.
Oh, Oski.
Oscar.
Lovely to have you in, mate.
Tell them why I call you Oscar.
Is it rude? Don't tell
No,
us
it's
if it's
not
rude.
rude.
Okay.
It's not rude at all.
Okay, great.
It says something bad about me, not him.
Okay,
Okay.
that surprises me. I knew it wasn't going to be him. Very good. Well done, Claire.
Yeah.
Very good. We've got no Tom's top tips, although I will
Why haven't
leave
we
you
got Tom's top tips?
because there's
Did
just
you
a
forget?
few. I did forget. Do you know what? Most weeks. Do you know what? We go for a week without it, but I'm reminded of.
You wake up with determination and you go to bed with satisfaction.
I mean, can you just give us that one again?
Yeah.
You wake up with determination and you go to bed with satisfaction.
Do you know what? I actually think he did steal that one from me.
Yeah,
I think I did say that
I'm
to
sure
him.
I've heard it before.
He's rocking that
Yes.
all the time now.
Yeah. Well,
keeps
you
saying
did say
it.
he was your lad.
He's just leaving me voice memos, just saying things like that.
He wanted to join the comedy course.
Oh,
didn't
he's
he?
brilliant. He's brilliant,
But
Charlie.
he's
He
like-
could teach it,
He's
couldn't
in
he?
Australia.
He is.
No, he can't.
He is. Claire's going to tell a story. Claire, what happens, okay? Basically, at the end of each episode, you've been a fantastic guest.
Yeah.
You know what? And at the end of each episode, you get the opportunity, the guest gets the opportunity to go on the wall.
The VIP wall.
Members list. It means you can come back here at will, whenever
Yeah.
you want. It's open 24/7, this place.
Yeah, never shuts.
Prime, we've got this.
And everybody knows
they
your
send
name.
us
Wow,
this.
yeah.
They send us this for free.
Yeah.
We
Just
drink
give
it.
us it. Tastes like water, like. But
So I don't know. So you could come back. So if you tell us a story, funny story, it's a good one.
get him on the wall, lad.
You're going on
Yeah.
the wall. Okay.
It's very gender neutral.
It's-
That one. You can tell we have lots of women guests.
Get them on the wall, lad. I don't know why you're saying that.
Get
but
it
if
on the wall, lad.
You switched it.
I said,
That's
get
all
it
you
on
did
the
there.
wall.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
I'm doing it live.
But one take.
One take.
But sadly, if it goes badly,
Well-
and it hasn't gone badly
No, it
yet
hasn't.
for anyone.
Right.
We did once have a fella come and he was a volunteer police officer. That nearly went very badly.
And he
Right.
probably
Yeah.
voted Tory as
He
well.
did. He
Um,
snuck in.
He just about
Just.
snuck in.
But
Because
if it-
people want to come down and kill
Yeah.
him. But
But if it goes badly,
you're bad, lad.
you'd be barred,
You're
sadly.
bad girl.
I am not.
Seamless.
Okay.
So we don't want to bar you, Claire. But actually,
No.
in fact, Towels even said to me,
It
what
would
did
be
she
a
say here?
travesty
It would
if
be a
we-
travesty. She said something like, if this girl's a legend, if you bar her, I'm going to come and batter you. Something like that. I don't know if I'm taking a word for word, but it was. I'm probably sanitizing that touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, get her on the wall right now. What a legend she is.
Oh, that's nice.
But we can't break the rules.
No. Yeah.
So we'll hand
Still a
over to you,
story.
Claire, and let's hear your story.
Okay. So a number of years ago, I got the opportunity to go dog sledding in the Arctic Circle.
The North Park.
Well,
North Park
The old
Bootle.
Bolton League.
I mean, I did it as a fundraiser. So
Okay.
I was raising money for Ykids.
Well done.
you
and,
do.
I was rather scared. And I do remember that you get there, it's freezing, it's
I'm
like
gonna
minus
say,
20.
It must be freezing.
It
Yeah.
was freezing. And
Take
the
your
dogs
big coat.
sleep outside.
No
Do
wonder
they?
you're all right
Yeah.
in here
Yeah.
tonight. When it's
Yeah, fine.
it's fine. Only -3. Yeah? Sorry, Claire.
So they taught us what to do, and you get your own sled and basic little wooden thing that doesn't look very strong. And you get 4 dogs, and you think, are 4 dogs going to be able to pull me? And you had to. There were 3 brakes on this thing. One great big one that went into the ice, so nothing would move, and there was like a little flap that slowed things down. No, yeah,
Is that
just
called a
those 2
brake?
brakes. Yeah, just those 2 brakes.
You're filling me with confidence
there was a
here.
drag break as well.
The
There was
third
three.
break
Okay,
is when you
all right.
fell off.
Yeah.
Well, we had to go and get our own dogs, wrangle the dogs into their harnesses, attach them.
Well, they made you do this.
Yeah, you have to
Just
go
off
and
you
get your
go.
dog.
Go and find dog.
Yeah.
I mean, be all right in Bootle, like, but I'm not sure there's loads in the Arctic Circle.
Well, there were. They were in cages,
Okay.
and they had to wrangle it. Now they're so excited. These dogs love running. So
Keep
literally,
locking them up in cages all the time. You
That'll
want to see
do
me
it.
when they let me out the house?
I can see that, Alan.
Sorry. I don't know what you're on tonight, Tom.
Me.
Two strike
always
Charlie's
me.
been in, I think.
Sorry, Claire. Carry
Sorry,
on.
Claire, we're making this hard.
Yeah.
So I got all the dogs all sorted, and the really difficult thing is when you actually set off, because the two very small and narrow bits of wood that you stand on, one leg on either side,
Yeah.
and the brake's like miles up in the air. You've got to like balance on one leg to get the brake down. Yeah, I'm not the most nimble of people. However, when we shot off, picked up the ice brake, put that on, and the dogs were gone, and I stayed on. It was fantastic.
Oh.
We were about to go 150 kilometres over the next 5 days.
Wow. So this wasn't just like a
No.
mile or something.
this
Like
building
and then,
that
oh,
is
done that.
sleeping- yeah.
Tick. You
Yeah.
had to go and like sleep in igloos and
They
stuff
really
like that.
make.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was traumatic.
And what was it? What was it? 75 quid you raised for Ykids. The trip cost
tell you
£2,000.
You
I
said
think
you
we
had
did
a
raise
tough,
about
tough time.
10k.
10k.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So I set off, and I was absolutely thrilled to bits because I'd stayed on.
Yeah.
The next thing I knew, I was on the floor because the woman behind me had fallen off and let her dogs go, and they just took me out.
Oh.
What was her name? Name and shame.
name
Come
and
on.
shame.
Come on.
But this
You've
is, we
ruined
weren't,
it.
we
Yeah.
weren't even out of the pound yet, and I've got 150 kilometres to go. And things I damaged my knee.
Oh.
So I then had to do the next 5 days on one leg.
Oh.
And
Ugh.
it was hard. I think one of the worst times was going up a hill that was really deep with snow, and the dogs, they're trying to drag me up a hill, and they're slowing down to a standstill. So you get off, and then dogs go, "Oh, it's light! Whoosh! See you later."
You're running after the sleigh.
Yeah, and of course the dogs are pooing as they go along.
Oh, wow.
So
wow,
you drag
wow.
through that.
So if the front ones poo, did the back ones throw it at you?
Their feet, yeah.
Feet whip it up.
We're here. Have a minute of that, love.
So off we went, and then we got to the top of this hill, but they didn't warn us we were a hill because we were just following the guide in front.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything. The dogs are in control. You can't talk to them and tell them what to do. You're just hanging on for dear life.
Don't you stare them like
You know,
with
No,
ropes or
but-
something? Like
no.
pull them that way and pull
No.
them.
they just take
I've
you
never
wherever,
done this
wherever
before.
they.
But I reckon I'd be
just
brilliant
follow
at
the
it.
dogs
It's
in
just like,
front.
don't you
I'm
just-
like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
get a rope and you
yeah.
pull it and it goes that way.
I'd
No.
love to see you on of them.
I'd be brilliant.
covered
at it.
in
No.
poo.
So you just hang on for dear life,
Wow.
and they follow the track of the lead
Oh,
dogs.
so they know where they're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the musher at the front.
Mush, yeah.
Yeah, the musher.
Mush, yeah.
Is that the proper word? Musher.
Obviously.
And thing is, as well, they're Swedish and
Okay.
can speak Swedish to the Swedish dogs.
Ah.
I'm English. I don't speak English or Swedish. Oh, sorry, I just do speak English. I don't speak dog or Swedish. So I've no chance. So I'm just hanging on. And then we get to the top of this hill, and we start to go down very fast. And the dogs are like, yeah, downhill. Duh, 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 duh. And there isn't time for me to put the drag brake on that slows them. So I'm going down this hill 100 miles an hour,
Overtook the dogs.
hanging on for dear life. We finally got to the bottom. And I was like this. And I just burst into tears. It was awful. But
wow.
you sort of like, you
And then
got to see how the dogs would take a corner. And I think I fell off 7 times.
Wow.
One time I got into a snowdrift so deep I couldn't get out. And then this woman came
Snow
to help
angels.
me. Yeah. And she fell in and couldn't get out. So literally it's like one of those, it was huge. So we were told that if you get in like you have to swim We swim out the snowdrift.
Swim out the snow.
Wow.
But I couldn't stop laughing.
I can't swim.
This was
Imagine if you can't swim.
this wasn't worth 10
I didn't
grand.
think I was
Claire.
going.
This wasn't
I didn't think I was going to
this wasn't
die in
worth it.
snow. I thought I was going to drown.
Yeah.
Well, literally, we were like half a kilometre away from our final destination after
Yeah.
we'd done this for all these days, and it was hard work. And we came to this corner, and the dogs were going at such speed, and I thought, do you know what? They're going to throw me. I know I'm going to come off. And they told you, whatever you do not let go of the sleigh or the sled. And I looked at it and I thought, what the heck? So as they hit this corner and I felt the whole thing tipping, I just went, I just jumped straight slack into a great big snowdrift. What the hell? So I did survive. I did have some PTSD after the
Yeah,
whole
I can
thing.
imagine.
However, in the run-up to going to do this, to advertise it, to get people to actually sponsor us, I did a few things. I jumped into the sea on Boxing Day, which was pretty cold, because I was trying to get myself acclimatised. But the other thing I did was that we built an igloo out of milk bottles
Wow.
and set it up in the Strand shopping centre.
Yeah.
And I slept overnight in an igloo in the Strand.
I'm not going to lie to you, Claire. You're bonkers.
Yeah.
And even at one point there was a fire alarm. It was only me to evacuate.
Yeah.
But I will tell you the honest truth.
Go on.
I was colder in the Strand
Yeah.
than I was at any time in the Arctic, even when the temperature dropped to -40.
I walked through the Strand once and they had Michael Jackson's Thriller playing in the PA system and people were walking there and I thought I was in the video. There's people walking like this everywhere. So, honest, I don't know what was going on. I was like, wow, this is some sort of real experience.
Claire, moving on. Claire, we're gonna see if we get voted. Let's
was
see
a
what.
boss story.
That was a fantastic story, wasn't it?
Wasn't worth 10 grand though.
It was worth 10 grand. I don't think.
You should have earned more for that.
You must love those kids. I mean, that's all I can
not
say.
half.
Wow,
Dear
10,
me.
incredible. Well, let us know in the votes. Is Claire going to be on the wall? Is she going to be barred? I mean, it'd feel pretty harsh to bar her after.
How's a bar someone like that?
Yeah, I
She's like Bear Grylls. She slept in the Strand,
She
lad.
did.
You can't bar her.
Colder than the Arctic.
You can't bar her someone who slept in the Strand in a load of milk bottles.
Yeah.
They must.
The igloo.
We'd have to overrule everyone.
The igloo wouldn't actually fit the sleeping bag either. So my head was in the igloo, my feet were sticking out the end.
Wow.
What did the security guards think?
Yeah, what did they think? Did they know you were in there when they had to evacuate?
Yeah, we had permission and
This,
everything. They came to see me and said, it's all right, we've
Very
checked it out.
good. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look. She must be Danny says Claire must be an Evertonian with that kind of luck. Emma says on the wall, poo was involved. Yeah.
Wow.
Here we go. Let's see. Wall from Margs. Craig on the wall. No questions asked. On the wall, definitely. Defo on the wall. Karen. Kev on the wall. Chris. She's on the wall. Best ever.
Wow.
Tao says.
Whoa.
Tao's repeated. She's going to bash my head in if I don't put her on the wall. So there we go. I am genuinely scared of Tao. So
Threats and violence.
Yeah, they work. So on the wall just for sleeping in the Strand. That's what Ray said. They should give you 10 grand. You could have earned more for that.
You could have got more for the sponsored sleep in the
Save
Strand.
yourself the flight. Here we go. She's going on the wall.
Yeah.
Very good. Where's she going? Claire, is it Claire?
Yes.
Good. That's the way I was going to spell it. Just here.
Anyway, there.
Claire. Oh. Yes. She's on the wall.
She's
Thank
on the
you.
wall.
I feel
Bit of
very
round of
honoured.
applause will be
Round of
bossed there,
applause.
so.
Well done, Claire. Well done. We're coming towards the end, aren't we?
We are
coming towards the end.
What have you done there? Yeah.
I was looking for. So, comedy course is starting on the 19th, and we've added a whole load more people.
We have added a whole load more people. I'm not really sure how many's coming now. There's maybe 8, 9, 10
Yeah, so
people.
there's
So it's
still
defo
chance.
happening.
On the 19th, it's going to start. If you'd like to join the comedy course,
7 p.m. at Emmanuel Baptist Church, which is on Fleetwood's Lane.
We've got a proper comedian who's teaching that one, haven't we? Rob?
Yeah, Rob, yeah.
And he's going I didn't bite. And
Rob Thomas, King of Bootle.
King of Bootle.
Look
He
at
hasn't
his
slept
episode.
in the Strand, though, has he?
No.
Calling himself the King of Bootle. He's not even slept in the Strand.
He's defo got a run for his money.
He has,
King of Bootle.
So we've got that. Also, the other thing I was going to say is, do you know what we've decided?
Oh, yes.
Do you remember?
I remember now, yeah. Joyce's fuming.
Joyce's fuming about the credit card bill because we spent some money on a few other things as well.
And then we done the live events, which we lost money on.
Our plan was to do the live event to try and cover some of the
first
costs
month,
of the
first
podcast.
month
And
of the
we bought everyone nougat and it ends up costing us money, didn't it?
Who does a live event and loses money when you sell out?
We lost money.
We sold out and lost money.
And the great thing, we had two comedians, Steve
They did it
Cooks
for
and Mark
nothing.
Williams. And
We offered them money.
we
and they
offered
both
them
said
money.
No.
I was so glad they said no,
'Cause
because
we'd have lost
otherwise we'd
even
have been
more.
proper out of pocket.
We'd have lost even more.
If they'd asked for money, I mean, Joyce, pass your credit card over. The boys
Yeah,
need
girl.
paying. So
What's your
basically,
pin?
we've done a thing, haven't we?
Yeah,
and
we've
what's
done
it
a thing.
called? Tell them
Buy me
the
a
website.
coffee, I think it's called.
Buymeacoffee.com
Buymeacoffee.com.
/Finnegans.
Yeah.
So if you basically, this is free. Coming to Finnegan's is free.
Free
it's
for anyone,
always
all the
free.
time.
It's going to
Always will be.
continue to be free.
Yeah.
Always going to be free.
Yeah.
There are some costs associated with the podcast
Obviously.
that Joyce is currently paying for. So in a way, it doesn't matter.
Lock that door, someone.
But in another way, if you like this, if you think it's good, what is wrong with you? If you think it's good, then if you want to give a little bit of money towards the podcast, you can do that on buymeacoffee.com /Finnegans.
FINNEGANS.
He can spell his own name, people. That's why we called
One of the
this
first thing I learned
Finnegans, just so Alan
when I
could
was a
spell
kid.
it. And basically, there's a few different ways. You can buy us a one-off. They call it a beer, don't they? It's a $5. And that money.
I think that's too dear. That's a southern
that's
beer.
a southern
I
beer,
think
that.
you've got to make that less.
That's a beer.
I was going to have a
Moretti.
word with you about that.
That's how much
We want a
pay
Carlin
down
out of Wetherspoon.
So £1.50.
£3.
So you can buy us a beer.
dear.
That's good for a £5, or you can become a member.
You can.
So if you become a member, you can sign up to £3 level.
Yeah, £3 level. What's
£3 a
get you,
month.
Tom?
That's £3 a month. £3 a month. It's going to get you in the credits at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, so your name will appear at the credits.
And if this goes as well as I think it might, your name will be in size 100.
Just one name.
Just one name.
Mine.
Dave.
Mine.
So £3, that's what it's going to get you.
I've already tried to buy us a coffee, buy us a pint,
and it
you
didn't work.
can't buy your own pint. How bad's that?
That's like you at the pub.
Buy your own pint.
That's the £3 level. You can do the £5 level. You're going to get the name in the credits. You're also going to get a shout out during the pod to say.
No, that's the different one.
No, it's this one, Alan. Believe me. And then finally, £10 a month level. If £10
Oh,
a
no,
month.
that was £5. You just
Thanks,
said.
mate.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
all
I'll
right.
let it off. Go on.
Silence. If you'd sign up for £10 a month to help the podcast happen,
It's nugget, golden nugget.
and
Get him on the wall, lad.
Yeah.
you're going on the wall,
VIP.
you'll
nuggets.
become a VIP member of Finnegan's. So
We'll
that,
literally write your name.
we will
on the
write
wall.
your name on the wall,
We'll give you a shout out.
And
Your
you can-
name will be in the credits.
and you can come in whenever you want.
And that'll
VIP
help
member.
us pay Joyce's Barclay cards off, basically. Because, notice the way Tom's got a posh mic. Have you seen this?
Yeah,
Have you seen my R one? Have you seen it?
We could only
We
get
could
one.
only afford one.
So,
Because Joyce is to the limb.
so if you want to support the
Yeah.
pod, we'll say it again.
It's
It's going to
free.
stay free. It's always
It's
going to
free,
stay free. But if you want to support the pod, you believe in what we're doing, this, having a banter, sharing a
Yeah.
bit of faith, getting a group of us together every week, and you want to help out, you can do that. There's even a wish list. Heaven forbid we could buy a camera or something like that.
Yeah.
If you got a couple of
If you're
grand
from
in your
down
pocket,
south and you're a Tory and
Yeah.
you're feeling bad about the north, then this is your chance.
this is the way to.
This is your chance to level up.
Yeah,
You know
level
what
up.
you've been going on about for years? We want to level up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is your chance. Get us a camera.
Don't pay your taxes. Just give us the money.
Well, they don't anyway.
They don't, do they?
No,
okay.
no.
All right. So that's how it works.
Clever
Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's it for tonight, isn't it?
I think
Is it?
so. Let's have
Nugget of the week. It's going to Chris Reed. Reedy.
Reedy.
Reedy. Our mate Reedy had a couple of fantastic jokes. I couldn't
Is he
read them
from
out.
Australia or is he here?
No, I think he's
here.
he's
Is he? Yeah,
here.
okay.
But Reedy, you're going to get a nugget. Nougat. Give me your address. I'm going to send it in the post.
Ah, he's done it. He's done it. He's done it. I was in Eden and I missed it. You're getting a nugget. Well
so
done.
we'll send that in the post to you, Reedy. And
You'll
next
be a
week,
scouser yet, lad.
Next week, we've got our good friend Mark Williams back. He's a legend,
Remember the
hilarious.
lads with the kid called Maximus?
He's going to be back in next week, so it's going to be fantastic. Once again, a big round of applause and a big thank you to Claire. We really appreciate you coming on tonight, Claire.
Ykids. Look up Ykids online.
Fantastic charity.
Donate to them as well. They do boss stuff.
They're doing some good
Bootle.
stuff.
They do
Fantastic stuff.
And I've been doing it for, 15 odd years or something? I don't know, 20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
22 now, actually.
Fantastic.
2 years. So there you go.
So good. All right.
Brilliant having you in, Claire. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
And you can come back whenever you want now.
Yes, you can. You can come back whenever you want.
Great.
It's not Christmas
She's
Day.
All it's time.
Oh, all that left time for is for us to ring our bell.
Fantastic.
You can ring my bell.
You know what? I was looking at the chat and people were saying it must be the prime.
Must be. That's what it is.
It's made you all giddy.
It tastes like water, but it's obviously got me off me rocker.
Who knows what they put in that, because it has made Alan go crazy.
It's full of ease,
fantastic.
Isn't it?
What a good episode. Cheers, guys. Nice to see you all. Have a fantastic week. And we all see you next week for another episode Wednesday night at Finnegan's.
See you later.
God bless you and goodbye.